Okay, y'all. It's day 39 of our 1 hour a day workout. Stick with me, y'all. We gonna be successful with this weight loss thing. Do your little bit of cheating, but don't overdo. Make sure you do 1 hour workout every day. And what I plan on doing is doing a liquid diet, and that'll bring me down quick, but maybe for 2 weeks or a month. That'll bring me down quick, but it's not really a solid way to lose weight because it's not realistic enough. It's not realistic enough. Once you want to get a diet together that once that's permanent, put it that way, that you're going to be eating like that permanently. So if you eliminated certain foods or whatever, you want to eliminate them permanently. If they wasn't good for your system, you want to go ahead and eliminate them permanently. But today I got to get my workout out the way because if anybody been watching, I'm taking my mortgage test. It's a very hard test. The mortgage originators test. I did the 20-hour course, and I done scheduled my appointment for my test, so I'm trying to get my workouts out of the way early so I don't not do them, because I want to make sure I get my 1 hour workout every day. So I'll get the workout out the way, then I'll study. So let's get rolling. Let's get on the floor. When I first started out, I would be all dressed already with my jacket on, with my, with the floor mat laid out and stuff like that. But now I'm doing a little cheating. I start laying out my setup. I be getting dressed while I'm recording. You know what I'm saying? It's a little cheating because I'll kill a few minutes if I record myself setting everything up. And I kill a little time. So get down on the floor. Get down on the floor easy, because if you bounce down on your butt, you're going to have what I have right now, and that's butt cheek pain. That bone in your butt cheek and around your side, around your hip, and down your thigh. It's not a good feeling. I take hot baths every day to try to relieve it. Put all kind of alcohol and everything in the tub, and I'll be laying up in the bed rubbing with vapor rub and alcohol and stuff. So be careful how you flop down on the floor if you're getting down on the floor to do your workout. And I thought it was funny. I was laughing, jumped down here, bounced on my butt. When I first started, because I hadn't been working out for years, So I didn't really imagine myself being on the floor. And I thought it was funny and a joke. So let's try to do some planking and see what I could do today. They're supposed to be sit-ups, but I can't do sit-ups, so I do some kind of plank. And there is a such thing called planking. But what I really be trying to do be sit-ups. I meant be push-ups. But I can't. I guess my upper body, you gotta build your upper body, and I don't use weights. So I guess you gotta build your upper body strong enough to handle, your arms gotta be strong enough to push your weight back up off the floor. But I just don't want to lift no weights right now, because I think when you build the muscles, don't that add weight? I mean, it tones you up, but don't that add weight? I'm trying to come down. I'm trying to see the scale, see me losing. Okay? So, we're going to talk today. Y'all don't see what I feel. And when I go back like that, it's like a good stretch. And I could hear a little bone cracking in my cheekbones and stuff. And it feel good, but so what we gonna talk about? We're gonna talk about Casanova. Early this morning, first thing this morning, was denied bail. What's today? The 28th of January. Okay, so I don't usually like to talk about the bad boys or get in their business too much, because I know they got peoples in the streets still and stuff like that. Just because a nigga is locked up, you can't be talking crazy about him, because, he still got his peoples in the street. But this is something I've been talking about joining the gangs, period. You have to second guess it, because the reason why he was denied 2.5 million bail plus house arrest, that sounds like something that would be reasonable, doable, But the reason why the judge said it's not doable is because he would be a danger to society. His character represents a danger to the community, So that's one of the things that gang involvement attaches to your background. That's the excuse that they could use in court if you're a member of a gang, that you're a danger to society. So that's the excuse that they could use for not letting you out of jail. Even if you said, hey, Judge, I give you $1 million bail. We put $100 million bail package together. We're going to come up with $100 million. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to stay in the house. You know what I'm saying? He could just say, you're a danger to the community. You're a danger to your community. Meaning that, like, I guess the gang that he was involved with, Gorilla Stones or whatever, Apes or whatever, he was a low-ranking member, and then he rose up to being one of the leaders. And when you rise up to be a leader, or you start your own chapter and you lead in your own gang, it's like you ordering hits. Them judges know what all of that mafia stuff is about. They might have went the proper way in life and education and stuff like that, they got family members that's mafias. You know what I'm saying? So, they probably got, the judge probably got a brother or nephew or uncle that's in the mob that he can't stand. You know what I'm saying? Um, whew, you heard that? Whew. These resistant bands keep popping on me. Okay, so that had a weak stretch point, but I got more band left. The band, this part, it got weak, and I stretched it too much, and it popped off from the rest of the band. So I guess we broke the other one up. I guess we're gonna break this one up too, until I learn how to do sit-ups on my own. This is how much band I got left. This one, you be breaking the resistant band. So yeah. Same thing happened in my community. The feds came around, locked up all the gang members. They let y'all become Bloods and Crips first. They let the gangs grow, let y'all hang outside for years. Women were scared, calling the cops. Old people were scared, and, they was locking niggas up and letting them back out. And, people was really wondering. I was wondering what was going on. Like, why aren't they stepping in to do anything to stop all of this gang stuff? But what they was doing was letting you grow so that they could take down a lot of people at one time. You know what I'm saying? So they gather up enough information, and instead of taking down 5 people, they come around to each neighborhood or projects and take down 100 people. 100 niggas. You might have like 100 niggas, and then you might have 1 or 2 females. You know what I'm saying? So the reason Casanova was denied bail was because they saying he's a danger to the community. He's a leader. He's giving orders. The latest incident came out where somebody from, I think, Rolling 60s was shot. Approached him about something, and one of his boys bust off some shots and hit the guy, and the guy was with Casanova, you know what I'm saying? And, the judge is putting it together like, that's your stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's your thing. The guys did it for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get before these judges, and you be thinking, oh, they don't really know about streets. They bookworm people and stuff like that. But with the help of the prosecutor, and like I said, the judge probably have family members that are in mafias and gangs and stuff like that, because the shit is so rampant. You know what I'm saying? They knowledgeable about stuff. You know what I'm saying? If your girlfriend ever complained about you beating up on her, that's the thing. If guys got killed because of your gang and you're the leader, you play some kind of leadership role in that gang, giving orders and stuff. If people said they got hurt with Casanova, you have a female that was taking pictures that got hurt in like a restaurant or something. So You gotta remember when it's on the internet that yeah, Casanova's attorney is putting together a bail package. He might be home soon. You got all of those victims that's like sending anonymous letters, or they might be straight up sending letters to the judge like, don't let him out. Don't let that pass. Because even being on house arrest, a nigga could give an order. A nigga could give an order in the streets. Not saying, and I'm not saying that that's what Casanova would do, that he would give an order after getting a break out of prison and getting, the judge allowing him a bail. If the judge would have allowed him a bail, it would have seemed like his case isn't that heavy. But being that he was denied the bail, it seemed like, this case is this case is heavy. You know what I'm saying? When you denied the bail. When you're ready to put up millions, you know what I'm saying? And to get bailed out, you willing to do the ankle monitor and stay in the house. You see, you can't wait. You can't wait. You can't have your fun out there, gang banging and running around, bossing people around, giving orders, and enjoy all of that gangster life. And then as soon as it's time to go to jail and stuff like that, you know the right things to do. So now you're telling the judge, I knew the right things to do. When you say, I'll stay in the house on with a monitor, I stay on house arrest. I do a house arrest. So you telling me right now, Casanova, that if I let you out, you'd be willing to stay in the house, and you wasn't willing to stay in the house before this case, before you had your freedom, you wasn't willing to stay in the house. But now you saying that staying in the house will prevent any more problems or criminal activity. So if you know that now, you knew that then, you were smart enough to know that then, so why wasn't you that type of gentleman back then? You know what I'm saying? If you know that, maybe going to work and coming home to your family and providing for your family and hanging around your kids and your wife and stuff like that and chilling out in the house is, the thing to keep you out of trouble. If you telling the judge after niggas done died and niggas done got beat up, women done got beat up and all kind of stuff, and all kind of havoc done been raised in the street, after all of this dirt is done, now you going to tell the judge, listen, I just want to hug and kiss my kids. I just want to go home and stay in the house now, if I was a presiding judge, my first thing would be like, well, if you know that now, and if you could be that type of person now, why couldn't you be that type of person before? You know what I'm saying? And you done did a couple of bids, and you done, came out on your freedom 2 and 3 other times. You understand what I'm saying? You done had several other chances and went back to the same life again. You know what I'm saying? But, niggas be waiting till a last chance, Okay, so now you in jail for your, 4th or 5th time, and shit is getting serious. You know what I'm saying? Shit is real serious, because they got the RICO and conspiracy and all of that other stuff. They got big-time charges and stuff like that. Now you want to say, I know the right thing to do. If you let me out of jail, I'll go home and do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, so you know better. So what you're saying is that you know what you've been doing is wrong. I mean, Casanova got videos on YouTube. I seen a YouTube video of Casanova. He was at like a casino, and I forgot what transpired, but somebody either played with his money or he didn't think something was fair, or he was arguing about something, or the security guard was treating him unfairly, and they were black, and he was, arguing and cursing them out, and he was ready to fight, and he was letting them know, I'm going to jail. And he kept saying, I'm going to jail, I'm going to jail. Like, as in saying, I'm going to jail tonight because I'm going to be busting y'all asses and y'all security guards and stuff like that. So definitely after I bust y'all ass, I'm going to jail. And he kept saying, I'm going to jail, I'm going to jail. And he just kept preaching that he was going to jail in that one particular video, and he just couldn't stop saying it. He couldn't stop saying it. He kept saying, I'm going to jail. I don't know if he knew this Fed case was coming down at the time or what, but he was like egging the security guys, who I don't think that they was real cops. I think they was just security for the casino. He was egging them to, come challenge him. So he said he was telling them that he was going to beat their ass and, he was going to jail tonight. And it's one thing to say it, and he said it about 100 times. I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. He kept telling them security guards, and they just stood back, looking at him like, So that clip right there, if the judge seen that clip right there, it sounds like that's where he want to be, That sounds like home to him, People looking at Casanova like jail is his home because of the opportunities that he had. A lot of dudes just don't become stick-up kids, robbing check cashing places like he said he was doing, and doing all kind of stick-ups and going to jail and coming home and getting a second and third chance and stuff like that, and then making hit records, and then going to sign with Jay-Z and all that. What's that company Jay-Z got? Rock Nation. Signing with them and all of that stuff like that at their parties, at their brunches, you know what I'm saying? In the circle with multimillionaires and billionaires and stuff, That just doesn't happen for everybody, every dude. Every dude that land in jail kind of like jail messes up your background. There's so many jobs you can't get. There's so much housing you can't get. There's, you might lose your girl while you're in jail. There's so many girls that don't want to deal with you because your opportunities is short. Your pockets is going to be short because there's a lot of things, a lot of jobs you can't get. While your girl is out there applying for this and applying for that, you sitting in the house playing PlayStation, you know what I'm saying, all day. Because, I can't get a job because I'm a felon, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, no, you can't just go to jail and make that an excuse. So for Casanova, he came out and I guess, you meet people in jail, and some of the people that was in jail made it, and he was coming out and catching up with them, and A$AP Rocky and them, and end up coming off with his own, hit record. And just because you have a rough and rugged style to your music doesn't mean that you have to live that out. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have to live that out, but in the music industry, in the hip hop industry, you do have to pose a threat to other niggas because niggas be jealous of your success. They be ready to rob you, catch you slipping, slide down on you, like with the Pop Smoke, run up in your house, home invasion, kill you, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like being in the hip hop industry, you do need to have backup protection, security. You need to have an image that's threatening, and backing niggas off and stuff. Oh, I ain't messing with Cass. That nigga crazy. I ain't going nowhere near him. That boy is a wild boy. And I don't ever see him dozing off, and I don't ever see him sleepy. It don't even seem like he get high or nothing. He just be high on life and up and woke. You know what I'm saying? Not like the other niggas that be sipping lean and laying back on the couch and bending over. Every time you see Cass, he be like, he be brolic and looking ready, I don't really never see him in a sleepy mode. Every time you see Casanova, he be in go mode, you know what I'm saying? So niggas wasn't quick to run up on him, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that's the excuse. A danger to your community. And you can't deny that. And this is somebody, you telling me you could put up 2.5 million bail. You somebody that you don't have to be in the hood. You don't need to be in the hood. If you got 17 friends that's going to pull their money together and bail you out, them same 17 friends should be the same ones that would say, well, okay, even if you got a bad record deal contract, you have a certain amount of fame, success, you're a celebrity, you need to be out of the hood, so we're going to put our money together and donate to help you get a house, which he probably already have, that's out of the hood. You know what I'm saying? So why so many people come together to be putting together, donating and putting their property up for bail packages when they could say, pull Cass up and say, hey, look, you're a celebrity now. You need to go move up into the mountains somewhere or something and get away from the hood. You know what I'm saying? For your safety. Because the only thing that these niggas is going to do is trick you off the streets, But I guess, a lot of niggas would like that leader role in the gang. I'm the leader, I give orders, you know what I'm saying? That might come with getting girls, but he got a beautiful girl, so I don't see where being a leader of a gang, he needed that to pull no woman, because he got a beautiful woman, and it seemed like they was in love and vacationing together, and it looked like he used to do a lot of things with her, And she's a very pretty lady. And, when I look at Cass, I say, Cass is not a bad looking guy. He got some pretty teeth, He don't have the look of a soft nigga. You know what I'm saying? He got the look of a dude that when you walk down the street, other dudes ain't gonna try him or nothing, So, that's what happened today. But that's not the first time I heard a danger to community. That is something. Okay, we're half an hour in. I'm about to get up off this floor, but okay, so you got the RICO You got the RICO that they locking the gangs up on, right? And you got the conspiracy for, you know, being around, being involved, being closely associated with gang members. Like some mothers say, "Oh, my son wasn't in the gang. He was just downstairs hanging with his cousin, and they pulled him up." But you down there so much with your cousin that you know you add to the crowd. You know what I'm saying? And the crowd is what scare people. The numbers of niggas hanging outside with you scare people. You understand what I'm saying? It makes the gang more of a threat. The more it make it look stronger, the more dudes, you know. So if you're not a member of the gang, don't hang around. Don't hang around there because things is happening that you don't know that's happening. The feds is driving by, they setting up secret cameras and stuff like that. So if you're not a member of the gang, don't hang outside with them. Because when they wrap everybody up and stuff like that, your face was in the video on camera too much with everybody else to say that you wasn't a member. And don't be out there wearing the same colors as them because you really, you know what I'm saying, representing. Don't throw up a sign, a gang sign. Don't get caught doing none of that. Even though you might get less time, and the leaders, you know, I guess they're going to go more hard on the leaders. So they have Casanova as the leader, and he needs to eliminate that first. Like, no, I wasn't no leader. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't no leader, no gang. You know, just get honest with the judge, you know. Hey, listen. Yeah, I was a member of this gang because I've been in jail so much. You understand what I'm saying? I think honesty and how things came about is the best way that you could paint the picture without lies to a judge. If a judge understands how you got there, you understand what I'm saying? And you know, if he can explain down that he's not no leader and that, you know, hey, the hip-hop community is full of people that's jealous of people that have success, Your Honor, I've been through the prison system several times, and the prison system is set up where you have to be a member of something. So the more you sentence me, the more you hold me in this jail, the more it is more so I have to be involved with one of the gangs. So holding me in the jail is not going to stop me from being in the gang. It's going to make me more so into a gang because in these prisons, the gangs control the insides. And the gangs control the outsides. And without snitching on anybody or whatever the situation is, I think Casanova can explain something to the judge that the system need to be changed. Okay? Because, okay, you telling the guys that, okay, we wrapping your whole gang up by way of RICO, by the way of RICO and conspiracy. And then you're telling them you got to stay in jail because you're a danger to the community. Staying in jail doesn't stop him from being a danger to the community. You know what I'm saying? Because the way I'm understanding is that the gangs in the jails run the gangs in the street. Like, niggas in jail could give orders down to niggas in the street. Like, the higher-ups are in jail. You know what I'm saying? Giving orders down, you know what I'm saying? So I think his attorney needs to come clean and tell some truths. Okay, let me try to get up off this floor, bring this camera up. I guess we'll do some ab booster. Yeah, I got thigh pain and all of that, but I still be doing my thing. It's somewhere around 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm getting my workout out the way early. I usually lay up in the bed and let it linger till the nighttime. But I'm gonna be studying and start getting into my studying tonight. And got a wedgie. So if any gang members, if the title, because I'm gonna put it in the title about Casanova, and gang thing and all that stuff, and danger to community. If any of you gang members is here, I mean, because where can you go? I mean, it used to be where you could leave the city and go south. You know, you want to get away from the streets. I'm going to live down south. You can't even go down south now because the south is full of gangs. You kind of like got to stay in the house, change your outfit. Don't wear what they wear. Don't be outside when they outside. Even if you're young, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you don't want to seem like a square. Let me get a paper towel. Paper towel, paper towel, paper towel. I went a little bit harder than yesterday. And I'm gonna do my liquid diet so we can try to pick this thing up a little bit. Today is day 39. We're almost day 40. And I said when I get to day 80, I should be where I want to be. But in order for that to happen, I got to step it up a little bit, do a little liquid dieting, a little fasting, whatever y'all call it. The Muslims call it like fasting, where you don't eat, you cleanse your body out, you want the spirits, you want God to talk to you through, you want your body to be cleansed and not clogged up so that with conspiracy, you guys, for you gang members. Some of y'all is old head gang members too. Let me take a peek out the window. I gotta go to the store and get some juices, and it sounds like rain or snow out there. Let me just take a peek for a second. What's going on out there? No, that's just the leaves blowing. It looked like a beautiful day out there, and the leaves are blowing. And I thought something was hitting the ground like snow or rain. See if we can straighten it a little bit. Okay, let's see. Okay. Let me tell you about this apple. So if you don't have it, if it's not set to the floor right, you want to make sure, because you fall down. I got to hold on. Okay, yeah. We set good. Yeah, but you know, because he's a celebrity, so people feel sorry for him. But I guess he been having his way in the streets, you know. You know the funny thing is, my legs don't look that big in the video, but they big. And you know how you can just put your feet up there? I have a hard time lifting. I be lifting my leg with my hand. Lift the other leg up. Let me see. And put it on the pedal. That's when you know you get old. Yeah, and another thing. You old niggas. You niggas that's in your 50s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, y'all should not be gang members. Not. You got kids, you got grandkids. You should not. You should not be gang members. You should not. You're too old for that. You got kids that's coming up that look up to you, that watching you. And it's just wrong, you know? It's just wrong. You know, for a baby to be born into the gang culture. That's wrong. Ever since I could remember, you know, I was wearing red. A little boy look at his baby pictures, and in his baby pictures he got on colors, gang colors. And his father's in the picture with him with gang colors and clothes and all of that stuff. That's crazy. That's nothing to be proud of. Get some education. Open the books and learn something. Because niggas say, oh, yeah, I make more money in the streets than doctors and, you know, lawyers. Yeah, you do for a little while. You know what I'm saying? You do for a little while. You know, I just made $100 an hour. You know, I just made $1,000 in 1 hour. Like, you know, yeah, you do. If you got the product, or you could get the product, or you could get consignment on the product, yeah, you do. And we all understand that. And right then and there, you could buy clothes. You could buy your cars. You could buy your jewelry. You could do all that stuff. But the thing that I say about cars, clothes, and jewelry and all that stuff like that, that shit go out of style. So when you go to jail, and you locked up in jail about selling drugs, and the clothes that you bought, say you get a 5-year bid, 10-year bid, 20-year bid, or something like that, or you end up killing somebody and you get like 25 to life or something like that, and you look back at your old pictures of the shit that you wore, the cars that you bought, all that shit is gonna be out of style in like no time. In no time. And right now they trying to make flying cars and, you know, different things like that. Like when my granddaughter get big, it's going to be flying cars and bases and all, and on top of buildings and all kind of stuff. It's going to be like a Jetson world. You know what I'm saying? So all the SUVs and stuff that we have now, all that Ferrari and all that cars is going to be old. All that stuff, it looks good now, but it's not good to end your life for. You know what I'm saying? It's not good to lose your family, not see your kids grow up and stuff like that. I'd rather walk around like a bum. I tell you the truth, I'd rather walk around like a bum and stay home than to say, oh, for a couple of years I was out here looking fly. And I was driving a fly car and I had jewelry or something like that. I'd rather walk around like a bum, be around my kids and my grandkids, you know what I'm saying? Help raise them, help teach them, and maybe they could be somebody. Continue, at that point, I could continue my education, you know what I'm saying? And try to, you know, expand on my knowledge and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Because anybody could go out there and get a gun. Guy, girl, young kid, anybody could go out there and start hustling. You know? You don't need no degree or nothing like that. Anybody could go out there and start hustling or turn a house into a crack house, you know what I'm saying? A drug house, you know what I'm saying? And start selling and getting money and flossing and taking pictures for the Instagram and all of that stuff like that. Yeah, for now. You know, but that stuff is going to be played out. You know, you get a 10-year bid or a 20-year bid, like the Nine Trays and Casanova and the Gorilla Apes or whatever. All them gang members that's in jail now and was happy out here with a few dollars in their pocket, going shopping, buying sneakers. Those sneakers that they bought, you know, 5 years ago, they 5 years in their jail sentence. Them pictures and stuff look old. You know what I'm saying? You know, it look old school. You know what I'm saying? It look old school. Now, when you come out of jail, you're going to be doing the old thing. Technology and everything is changed. It's going to be changed and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So there's no need to go out for material things, and the rich people is not even doing that. It's only the poor people that's doing that. It's only the people that got temporary money or illegal money or scamming money that want to show off that they could dress fly or have fly sneakers or, you know what I'm saying, or have jewelry and stuff, you know? I be wanting that too, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes I get me a little pieces and stuff like that, but my whole life is not pertained to being fly. What being fly to me is like buying some suits, buying some business shoes, buying overcoats that go with the suit. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a couple of London Fog coats, and whatchamacallit, that you could put over your suits and stuff like that, and it still look presentable, because you can't wear a business suit with a blazer and then put a bubble jacket on top of that. You know what I'm saying? So I bought a couple of London Fogs, and the funny thing was the damn coats was like $200, and they was on sale for $100 and something. So I bought like 3 or 4 of them coats at one time. So what you would go spend $500 or $1,000 for, my style, I bought like 3 or 4 coats. I bought 3 or 4 coats for that same money that you buy one coat that's ghetto fabulous. You know what I'm saying? I could go down in Midtown Manhattan and put on my suit and put on my London Fogs and mix in with the business people. You know, I spent $200 on a briefcase. You understand what I'm saying? On a nice leather, briefcase and stuff like that, you know? You don't have to do what everybody else do. You don't have to be ghetto fabulous. And you might live in the hood and say, this is what I'm surrounded by. But that doesn't mean that you can't buy business clothes and suits and leave your community, get on a train, go downtown to Manhattan and go job hunting, you know? I met this Mexican one time in Midtown Manhattan. And he was helping me with my suitcase and, getting tips and stuff like that. So we got to talking, and somehow we got to talking about how expensive it is to live in Midtown Manhattan in New York City, right? And he said he lived down there. And I said, you live down here? He said, yeah, I live down here in a 1-bedroom for $6,000, and it's 6 people living there with us, and we all go out and work every day, and we all chip in and pay the rent. You know what I'm saying? So you see how the Mexicans operate. They operate where they could get together, live together, everybody go out and work and make their share of the rent and pay the rent, and they live in a rich community. And then that's smart. But us black people, can we live together? No. Okay, I'm getting ready to get off this ab booster. I got about 10 more minutes. So we're not working too hard. We're doing a little something. I'm working in pain. You know what I'm saying? So I am working with leg pain and back pain. But I'm still doing it. Talking to my therapist today about everything that's going on and about the vaccines and the COVID-19 shots, and she said she got her first half. And I was telling her about that care worker in California that took his second half and died. But they say he have other underlying problems like high blood pressure and overweight. But how many Americans is overweight and obese? Most all of us are. Most all of us are. So that's why I say get your weight down. Let me move this air booster back. Okay. We do a little boxing. I just felt my stomach twirling. Like I'm gonna have to use the bathroom. We got about 8 more minutes left to go. But if anybody young came here or gang member came here by the way of the title or Casanova's name, or I put something in the title that got you here, please, if you want to have a life and you want to see your kids grow up, don't duck the responsibility by doing something criminal and going to jail and letting your baby mama do everything by herself. It just seems like niggas be ducking responsibilities by, you're out there hustling, eventually you're gonna get caught, you know what I'm saying? Or another nigga gonna snitch on you, so that he could go free. So, if you're doing anything criminal, scamming, stealing people's identities, all that kind of stuff, there's too many cameras and all kind of stuff. Mainly if you're out here carrying guns, the cops gonna pull you over if you're in a cab and the cab feels threatened and stuff like that. He got a thing where he push on his brakes so many times and the cop will pull you over, you know what I'm saying? So even the cab drivers, the Uber drivers have a way of alerting the police if they feel like the person in the vehicle. That happened to me one time with my nephew. We was in the cab. I forgot where we was going or what we was in the cab for, but my nephew, he's passed away now. He got killed and everything, but yeah, he was a killer. And even though, they used to live in New York, my sister had moved her with the kids to Baltimore, and he ended up in the streets of Baltimore with all of that drug selling and killing and stuff. So he, that became his character, you know what I'm saying? And he's a nice looking guy. He could have been rapping or being productive in life, tall, slim, good looking gentleman, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I think he did have a gun on him that day. But I'm so innocent. I'm so innocent and businessy looking that the cops just waved it off. Uh, so we in a cab going down Third Avenue, and the cops came up behind the cab. So um, when the cab stopped for the officer, and when the officer came to the cab, instead of him going to the driver like the driver did something wrong, the officer looked in the back seat with us. We not driving with you. You pulled this cab over for the people that's in the back seat. You know what I'm saying? Like if the cops is making a traffic stop, that's supposed to be for something that the driver did wrong. He didn't stop at the light, or he didn't put on his brakes, or he didn't signal or something like that. He's supposed to be pulling the car over for something that the driver did. But obviously, I was sitting in the back seat with in the car. The driver didn't do nothing wrong, so I couldn't understand why we getting pulled over. Why is we getting pulled over? You know what I'm saying? And then I look at my nephew like, nigga, you guilty. Nigga, you guilty. And I hope you ain't dirty with drugs or guns and we going to jail today and I'm your, partner. Because I was in business. At that time I was doing my cleaning business and running around getting buildings and had my little cleaning crew and we was knocking down. I was making contracts legally with, the general contractors to do the post-construction cleaning. So I wasn't in no way, dirty. You know what I'm saying? But I looked at my nephew, and he smirked. He did a side little grin and I'm like, oh, man. So the officer looked in the back seat, so I rolled the window down like, yes, man, help you, Oh, we're just checking out everything to make sure everything is okay. Is everything okay in here with you guys? Everything is fine. I don't, something's supposed to be wrong. I'm on my way to the job. Everything is fine with us. So he said, okay then. All right. He let us go on about our way. And I looked at my nephew, I was like, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? But I think what had happened was that the cab driver had pushed on his brake too many times, and it caused the cop to pull us over, And I was in the cab in the back with my killer nephew, you know what I'm saying? That nigga was a known killer in Baltimore. And he ended up getting killed in Baltimore too. So, whatever energy you put out there, that's what you're gonna get back, or whatever the situation is. But guys, don't duck your responsibilities and stuff like that. And if you came here by way of anything in my title or whatever the situation is, you see all of these examples before. I mean, do you really want to live in jail opposed to living at home with your kids and your baby mama? Do you really would you really rather go live in your little cell with your little bed and sink and they tell you what time to get up in the morning and wash your butt, when you could shower, when you could eat, you know what I'm saying? You on a hard concrete, fighting niggas on a hard concrete and all kind of stuff. You don't know if they're going to slice you in the face and give you $1.50 and you going to be yearning for the streets to get home and calling, collecting, bothering people like you a little kid and stuff like that. People gotta collect calls and all kind of stuff like that. Come on now. So yeah, we're getting down to our minute. I'm gonna do my studying. So y'all guys remember who's in the gang or who's planning on joining the gang. When you come before the judge and decide that you want to change your life around, because, I'm getting ready to get hit with heavy time. Remember, a danger to the community when you're trying to get your bail. When you're trying to get the judge to give you a bail, and, you got people that have put up their houses and millions and stuff like that, it ain't going to count because you're a danger to the community. Mainly if you're a leader, you formulated your own set, or you rose to the top. I wouldn't even want to be a member. So y'all be careful out there. Do whatever you gonna do. Cause I'm not gonna keep worrying about other niggas. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna sit down and study for my mortgage test. You know, I can't have a criminal background with that. And you know, I made it through my street days clean with a clean background and stuff like that. And you know, I know what the desires is of the streets and stuff like that. But it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it, y'all. Peace. I'm out.